Hello, my name is Cliff Brown, and I'm the Executive Product Manager for BricsCAD Mechanical. This session is 5 more reasons to choose BricsCAD Mechanical. Now, for some of you, this will be an update of what's available in V23. But for a few, this will be your first introduction to our purpose-built solutions for manufacturers. So I'd like to take just a few minutes to walk you through what is BricsCAD Mechanical and how has it been designed to help you meet the challenges in your businesses. BricsCAD Mechanical is an intelligent, flexible, and accessible solution. It's a cost-effective way to help manufacturers of any size reduce the time it takes to get from concept to fabrication or from concept to cash. It's built on the strong foundation of BricsCAD Pro, and it provides industry-specific tools for manufacturers, helping you to build better. So what are we talking about when we say build better? Well, we really kind of categorize this in 3 high-level areas. One is the time it takes to complete a project. Another area, though, is the staff requirements. With the Bricsys solutions, we've put considerable focus into making these tools broadly accessible. That means you can use these tools, or anyone in your organization can take advantage of these process automation tools. And that's important because in many cases, the software can be helpful, other software can be helpful, but it's quite complex. And so only a limited number of people in your team can use them. With BricsCAD, we try to make sure that the advantages of design and process automation are available to everyone, making your entire organization that much more productive. We're also focused on the time it takes to validate your designs for manufacturability. So do you have the right solution to work within your manufacturing constraints? So all of those things are wrapped up in the capabilities that are provided in BricsCAD Mechanical. And so we'll walk through high level what we've done in this last release to really accentuate our ability to help your company build better using that definition of what is build better. The new tools that I'm going to talk about are the 5 key reasons why customers are adopting the product are stated here. Both the integration, which is very important, and you'll see that in detail, allowing us to uniquely provide an all-in-one solution for manufacturers that work in the context of buildings. The supercharged productivity, and then especially the ones in bullet number 3, which is our fabrication enhancements, both for sheet metal and welding. The ability, as we said earlier, to make the tools accessible, the simplicity and usability. And the last thing, which we'll spend just a little time on, which are the 2D mechanical drafting capabilities. With BricsCAD Mechanical V23, you now have access to the best alternative for 2D mechanical drafting and design if you're using other tools and you're frustrated, we'll say, with the pricing and policies of your vendor. So let's get started. We'll give you a detailed presentation here on the integration of BIM and mechanical data, as well as the supercharged capabilities. I just mentioned what we're going to talk about, how we're going to show the all-in-one, and also what's happening with 2D and 3D welding, which are new in V23, as well as the enhanced capabilities for sheet metal unfolding. This model highlights some of the unique advantages of BricsCAD in that this includes all of the data required. There's the terrain model, there's the BIM data for the buildings, and as you can see, we're now adding in the mechanical information. First, the EV charging stations, and now the solar panels. As we said, these are tracking solar panels, so they're allowed to move to follow the sun, and we'll show how important it is to capture that engineering information in the model. We'll add in a few other references such as the cars and the landscaping, just to give the customer a better idea of how everything's going to fit on their site. Now, as I said earlier, the charging stations and the solar panels are complete mechanical machines. They have all the details down to the last screw, and later, as you'll see, the welding and all the components. In this project, we're going to look at how we set up these solar arrays. Where do they fit? And do we capture enough power to run the facility? So we'll add, in this case, we already know that the specification calls for us to add another solar arrays. And so it's pretty simple to drag and drop this model from one location to another. One thing you can see here, we're using the parking lot lines as references. So we're using all of the data in the model to build out our design. We're also going to be using engineering information. So these models will now show the tracking. So we're looking at the motion to make sure that we don't have any interferences or that none of the panels put shadows on the other panels. Here's a close-up showing the details for the tracking solar panels. What's important to understand is that this is not movie magic. As you can see when we slow it down a bit, is that the panel movement is being driven by the sun. See the panels rotate and tilt, as well as the impact of the shadows from the surrounding buildings. What I wanted to highlight here is that, again, this is all done with one user interface in one DWG file, and it is one of the many unique advantages of working with BricsCAD. 5 more reasons to look at BricsCAD Mechanical. 1 down, 4 to go. So far we've talked about that integration between the BIM model and mechanical data. And you saw how important and how powerful it was to have all of that information, the terrain, the BIM model, the mechanical components, all in one design. What I'd like to do now is talk a little bit more about the supercharged productivity. Here, I'm going to focus on what's new with our 2D and 3D welding features. Sheet metal has also been enhanced with this release, but it's so extensive that I'm going to save that for another video later here in our breakout sessions. So what I'm going to do right now is really kind of take you through how we're going to go into this model. We're going to look at all of the components, and we're going to create the manufacturing details required to actually build out and do all of the do all of the welding that's required in order to produce the product. So let's get started. I'll walk you through the demonstration. For this next demonstration, we'll show the welding tools. Welding is a new capability that's been added as part of V23, and it's been implemented in the same fashion as all of the other fabrication tools, making it very simple for our users to access. As you can see from the demonstration, in order to implement a weld, you simply pick the weld type and then the surfaces where you want the weld to be attached. And the software does the rest. These are complete 3D entities. They have mass and they have size. They roll up appropriately in the bill of materials. So users have everything they need to capture the fabrication requirements for their projects. We've implemented 2 types of welds with V23, the fillet welds, which you've seen, and now the groove welds, which are being applied here on this part of the project. There's a much more detailed view of what's in welding that's in a additional breakout session, both the 3D welds, how the welds are being used in the bill of materials, the 2D welds, and the association between the 3D welds, the 2D welds, and the welding symbols. The last part of this demonstration will walk through 2D, really just in drafting in general. All of the drafting tools that were in previous versions of BricsCAD Mechanical are still working in BricsCAD Mechanical V23. They've been enhanced for performance, especially on multi-views. It's roughly 2x performance improvement in many of the view creation tools. It's also a reminder that a good way to create views when you have very large model is to use the draft mode for layout and then to put in the detailed model, or have the software put in the detailed view once you've done all the layout work. In addition to the geometry, the graphics, we've done enhancements, significant enhancements to the BOM or bill of materials capabilities. Users can select all of the objects, not just mechanical objects, will show up in the bill of materials. These objects can have additional information applied. You can add columns and footers, much broader variety of capabilities, all based on service requests or support requests that have come in. As always, BricsCAD is a customer-centric, customer-driven solution. So your requirements are the things that show up in subsequent releases of the software. We've walked through 4 of the 5 new reasons why you should consider BricsCAD Mechanical. We talked a lot about the integration between the BIM model and the mechanical data. We showed the supercharged productivity enhancements by being able to use the mechanical data to analyze the performance and the location of the solar panels. We talked about the enhanced fabrication tools. Specifically, we did a brief overview of the welding. As I said earlier, there are separate breakout sessions that will go into a deep dive on the welding as well as the sheet metal capabilities. And throughout that presentation, hopefully you were able to see the simplicity and usability. All the tools are leveraging the muscle memory you have from your previous solutions, and yet they are bumping it up a notch. They're taking everything to the next level of giving you additional productivity. All the advantages of BricsCAD. What I want to do now to finish up is to walk through the significant new enhancements we have for native 2D mechanical design and drafting tools. So when you look at all of these customers who are all of you, there's something that you'll see that's in common with all of them. And whether they're in welding or sheet metal or metal fabrication or assembly, there's one thing that they all need, and that is 2D drawings. They don't just need 2D drawings, but they need 2D drawings with all of the manufacturing detail, the symbols, the annotations, and in most cases, the bill of material. All of these things are required in order for them to go from concept to completion. With BricsCAD V23, we've added significant new tools for 2D mechanical drafting. Also, you'll see that these tools are now completely compatible with the AutoCAD Mechanical tools. So that was something that you, our customers, and those of you that are evaluating the software had asked, how does BricsCAD Mechanical work with AutoCAD Mechanical data? And our answer now is that it's relatively seamless. Of course, there are a few commands, just as with Pro and AutoCAD Basic. But for the most part, all the things that you can do or that you have done in your old system can be done and edited in BricsCAD Mechanical V23. So we've also, as I said, added a series of native design tools, design commands for 2D drafting and design so that you can do everything that you need to do all from within model space. And the last tool there you can see is the power dimensioning tools. They have also been included so that you have all of the advantages of the power dimensioning. So with that, what I'd like to do is move on and give you a demonstration of the software in action. We'll start with a update for an existing mechanical drawing. So these mechanical symbols were brought over from a previous session, AutoCAD Mechanical, and the user can now select on these objects. Previously, these were proxy objects with no ability to edit. Now you can select them, edit the values, edit the properties, edit the locations. We also have a series of native symbols and tools that you can use to detail your drawings. You can see the list of symbols that we're supporting in this initial release. The implementation is similar to what you've seen before. You select the geometry, you pick the symbol type, You edit the properties such as scale or the value of the symbol, and BricsCAD Mechanical V23 places the symbols inside of your drawings. These are incredibly powerful tools that are required in order to have complete and accurate drawings, which are what all of our customers are asking for. The implementation uses the same commands, dialogues, all of the tools that you're familiar with, so that it'll be easy to make a transition from an existing tool to the new 2D design and drafting capabilities in BricsCAD. And there you have it. 5 more reasons why manufacturers worldwide are choosing BricsCAD Mechanical to help them shorten their design to fabrication cycle times. With V23, we've focused on customer demands for our software, namely to be the best alternative solution for 2D mechanical design and drafting, and to continue the efforts that we put into delivering intelligent and accessible tools to optimize design for producibility. In addition to this session, there are 5 other sessions, breakout sessions, that go into even more detail on what's new with BricsCAD Mechanical V23. I invite you to select the ones that are specific to you so you can see how BricsCAD can help you build better. Thank you for your attention. I hope you found it useful. Please look up the other sessions or feel free to contact us at any time or if you have questions and we can help. Thank you.